it's a pleasure to be here to celebrate with all of you when we achieve justice and to protest with all of you in the face of injustice. And that's what we're gathered here to do today. I applaud all of those who have preceded me here today. I admire their courage, their good work, their resolute stance in opposing the ongoing discrimination here in Idaho. And I say to you as a constitutional scholar that discrimination in any way, shape, or form is unacceptable, it's intolerable, and it is absolutely unconstitutional. Men and women in the Idaho legislature who refuse to amend the Idaho Human Rights Act, and those men and women who sit on the Human Rights Commission failed, utterly failed in their duty to advance the cause of justice, to advance the cause of human rights, and to defend the Constitution of Idaho and the Constitution of the United States. They must listen to our words today. They must hear this beautiful music. They must look at your signs, and they must understand that their position is no longer acceptable, that they place Idaho behind the curve. All you have to do is to look at our brothers and sisters across the nation, from coast to coast, and even in the Midwest now. Recognize that in the United States of America, all citizens are entitled to the equal protection of the law. That discrimination in any way violates not merely the Constitution, but it tears at the fabric of this democracy. It is fundamentally irrational. It does not promote any good or any value that can serve a constructive purpose, and it is demeaning of our brothers and sisters who have been denied their opportunities and their rights merely because of their sexual orientation and their gender identity, and that is wrong. That is absolutely wrong. There is under our constitutional system no justification for drawing these lines of distinction that would justify discrimination against those for their sexual orientation or gender identity. In the words of the Supreme Court, these kinds of lines can be drawn only if there is an exceedingly persuasive justification for this kind of discrimination, and there is no justification at all. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the Supreme Court, discrimination can be adduced only if there is a compelling governmental interest. What possible governmental interest can be served by repressing our fellow citizens? None. None whatsoever. This action by our state government, the inaction and the failure by our state government and the Idaho Human Rights Commission, betrays every fundamental principle of justice and liberty and the pursuit of happiness in this country. They have betrayed the aspirational rights and opportunities of American citizens here in Idaho. As you all know, we travel an arc toward moral justice. It is a long road. It involves many battles. It involves great persistence and the necessity of courage. Across the sweep of American history, for 200 years, Americans have banded together at select moments and specific junctures in our history to defeat the tyranny of racial discrimination, to overcome the denial of opportunities and benefits, and to defeat the preclusion of the promotion of justice for those people who have been born black and brown and yellow and red, for those who've been born of a gender that has been the victim of discrimination across history, for those who have suffered disabilities. We have moved far forward in defeating those forms of discrimination, and now this is the next form of discrimination that we must defeat and conquer. Today we're gathered on the steps of the City Hall, which is where power is wielded, and it is symbolic of the power that can be wielded just down the street here by men and women who could bring themselves to understand and to embrace a vision of justice here in Idaho, by men and women who could embrace the vision of the need for equality for all Idahoans. It's time for Idahoans to march on the Capitol, to continue to protest injustice wherever we find it, and to bring our goodwill, our strength, our persistence, and our courage to this great battle. Those of you who gathered today are citizen patriots. You are the real heroes of our society, because as citizens, you are raising your voices in opposition to injustice, in opposition to constitutional violations. You are the ones who have taken up the cudgels, decided that you are marching into the battlefield to tear down this last great barrier toward equality for Idahoans. I salute you. I admire your efforts. I encourage you to continue to push forward on this battle, because I am confident we will win. Alone in facing tall odds. For 200 years, we fought against racial discrimination. We have rolled back slavery. We have rolled back the badges and incidents of that institution. We have defeated the tides of racial discrimination at every turn. We have won many battles on the front of discrimination against women, and we now must possess the confidence that we can secure victory on this issue. 3 years ago, we introduced this proposal to amend the Idaho Human Rights Act to bar discrimination against our brothers and sisters in the realm of education, in employment, and in many walks of life, including lodgings and public accommodations. We didn't even see that bill printed. We have been denied consistently the opportunity for public hearings. But in this next year, if you continue to advance with all of your energy and your commitment, we will see this bill printed. We will hear public commentary from southern Idaho to northern Idaho, from the eastern part of the state to the western part of the state, and you and I will be celebrating next year as we amend this Human Rights Act so as to preclude this ongoing discrimination. There is... Ladies and gentlemen, this is our republic. It is our society, and we cannot allow those forces of injustice to prevail any longer. So let's put our effort forward in a big way. Commit all of your energy, bring your anger, bring your disappointment, bring your sense of injustice, and we will secure a victory. This time next year we'll celebrate here, because we've overcome discrimination. Thank you all very much.